Hey Taurus, I'm Lucy Ravenstone. Welcome to my channel. This is part 2 for your April reading, so if you haven't watched part 1, please head over there first. This is part 2, which basically covers the crossing energies around the reading we just done. Thank you, Roomberg, for giving me a crystal. So I've already shuffled, so let's just begin on our reading. So firstly, the energies we had were... basically we're in a situation where we feel trapped. This felt like it's influenced by somebody else's sadness, somebody else's negative energy. It's kind of putting our attention where I feel like more so we don't desire that attention to be, and it just keeps being pulled back to it. It's kind of how I'm feeling with those cards. And it's the Seven of Cups is influencing this. So I love Seven of Cups in this area. I feel like basically we instinctively are feeling kind of a drive towards what's more authentic to us. We kind of, I believe we have kind of a vision on how we wish to live, and I feel like that's the whole point, is because someone is dragging us down, or a situation is dragging us down. It's kind of putting us in this energy where we feel trapped. So right now, trust your instincts, trust in your intuition. I feel like because we're trying to gain kind of alignment within our lives, get everything going on within our life to be aligned with our wants, our desires, our goals. This is kind of sending everything onto extremes. It's making us feel, it's making, sorry, I can't get my words out. It's making things like, I won't say messy, because it's sending things to extremes. It's kind of like when you start to align things in your life, the things that need to drop away or be let go of, they kind of go crazy because it brings them to a surface and like makes you pay attention to them basically, and realize that, hang on, this is not in alignment with me anymore. And that's definitely what I feel like this Seven of Cups influence is doing. You definitely feel like there is something more beyond what you're experiencing now, and I feel like that's what's making you feel trapped really within the scenario and situations that you're in, Taurus. The next card we have is the Queen of Swords. Now she's crossing the Hanged Man reverse and the Moon card. So this Moon card reversed, I basically got this sense of it like all of the dynamics of the situation is kind of making us act in a way that's not authentic with who we are. I get this sense of being more colder, maybe mean, and just not really being kind of the nurturing being that we are and can be. And I feel like that's what this Queen of Swords is doing for us. The Queen of Swords, she's strength, she's ambition, and she's truth. She gives me full-on Taurus vibes. I do get little tears in her eyes, so I feel like this is overwhelming a little bit. Kind of like, I want to say I feel like you're being pulled because you've been given insight to the life and what you could have, or, you know, insight into those dreams and those desires, and kind of wanting to nurture them into being. But then like the dynamic of having to face something that is somebody else's energy. I definitely get the sense of someone else's energy being a big influence in our life right now. And I feel like the truths around that and us acknowledging and realizing certain things, it is creating a sadness basically. But yes, this Queen of Swords energy and the Seven of Cups energy, it's great. It's giving me this wanting more, knowing that it's out there, or knowing that things don't have to be the way they are. And that's really the big main part of this. It feels as though things really don't have to be the way they are, and I feel like we are acknowledging that, but it's hard for other people to acknowledge that, or to kind of have the same wavelength as us during this time. Now I do get the sense of, you know, this being a transition, and we are kind of evolving and growing. Everybody is, specifically during this time. But I just feel like we are at the point where we are kind of seeing things quite clearly for ourselves. However, it's kind of hard to put that into, bring it into reality, into creation during this time. And I feel like it's because of other people's influences that's doing that. But I'm loving this kind of drive to knowledge and wisdom I'm kind of seeing within these two cards. The next row was the Two of Cups reversed and the Ten of Pentacles. Here I got this kind of connection and something to do with loyalty as well, I remember, because I'm remembering this dog in the imagery representing loyalty and unity. And this feels like something coming into being, a relationship, a dynamic, a kind of something new that is in alignment with where we're heading. What is influencing that area is the Nine of Cups. So I like that we have these cups as well. It is very emotional and driven and very intuitive as well. Now this here represents, the Nine of Cups represents, happiness, vitality and optimism. And I definitely feel this within this vibe of feeling hopeful, of feeling kind of like things can go the way you want. And this again, it's the same drive, all three of these cards so far. It's the energy that we're in. It's kind of feeling hopeful for the future. Feeling like, all these possibilities are possibilities and not impossibilities. And it definitely feels like a shift in way of thinking as well. That you have come to this place right now. Let me take a look at that Nine of Cups, see if we get anything else from her. And she gives me, I get that there's a little spark of sadness because I feel there's a wound around this kind of area. And with this being relationship-wise, I do feel like there's woundedness within us, Taurus, in regards to this. So I do feel like that is an aspect of this, but this card represents the happiness and the optimism. I feel like that's what we're overcoming, and I feel like this year is for that for us a little bit. It's overcoming something that brought us sadness towards the goals that we want, and it's like coming through this again, like a second or third, fourth, fifth, whichever cycle you're on, but like a final cycle to a degree of like growth. There's something to learn here, but learning that even though you're going through it again, trusting and realizing that it's not necessarily going to be the same way. It gives me that kind of second chance vibes in the sense of being more hopeful that, this time around. But I do want to say, don't hold on to past versions of this and take that, like as in using it as an example. For example, it didn't work out and similar traits are happening this time, so it's going to go a certain way. Don't paint it with that brush is what I want to say. So the crossing energy for the Ten of Pentacles and to the Seven of Pentacles. Now the Seven of Pentacles always gives me this kind of looking on the other side towards a brighter version kind of thing. I cannot remember how I read this for you because I'm just getting kind of a sadness here, and I do think that this is what I just touched on actually, and where I said about you going through a heartbreak and a grief and holding on to that. Now this is what's influencing that, kind of wishing to move forward beyond this. The Seven of Pentacles is definitely kind of seeing things better and brighter in the future. Sorry, you've got a room bug's butt in the face. You are not supposed to be up there, mister. Be careful. Mom life, have to juggle around. Sorry about this, guys. So with that, it's a Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords does represent heartbreak or some kind of sorrow, and I definitely feel that here for us, and this is what's influencing us. I kind of actually feel like moving away from that. I feel like you just want to move away from that. You're sick of feeling the sorrow, fed up of being stuck in that. And I do see all the way through this is us looking beyond all of these moments. It's like we are seeing ahead, and perhaps we probably should be a little bit more in the moment and make sure you are taken care of, because here we're trying to take our attention away from, but obviously it's feeling like we're trying to move forward, and by moving forward we have to give attention to the things that are present in order to kind of settle those things and move on that dynamic. So moving on to the third column, which column we are on? The third one, we have the Ace of Wands and the Fool reversed. Now remember here, something kind of beginning and kind of us taking our time within that. The Six of Wands is the crossing energy here. Now this is a glory. This means like this is what we're supposed to do. This is a direction we're supposed to take. It's a wise owl. Now this wise owl to me that's us moving forward wisely. Kind of I feel like we know what we need to do in order to hold all of our wands to be able to create what we are wishing to create. And so I'm loving that Six of Wands energy right there. And I do get this sense of accomplishment from this card that it's given me right now, which is interesting. So yeah, it's giving me right path kind of vibes as well. And then moving from that Fools reversed to the Two of Cups reversed. So I kind of got a sense of a meeting here. I remember that. And yeah, I'm definitely getting confirmation of this. Two cards have come up, so I'm going to read it actually as though these are two different individuals or the dynamics of this. Let me have a look. So I feel like they are the same, but they are different. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. So I feel like they are both, like they both bring things to. So I will repeat what I just said in case I didn't capture that. So the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, I feel like both of these have a lot to offer. They are very similar, though they are different. It kind of is like they equally bring something to the table, but they're different qualities. So one of them brings family, one of them is kind of nurturing, giving, and kind of has a balance of kind of wanting equality and giving, and kind of offers that kind of value. This could very much be you yourself actually, but I kind of, how I'm reading this is like, I feel like take them individually as which applies to you, because I feel like for some of us we will be the Six of Pentacles and some of us will be the Four of Pentacles Taurus, so apply them to you or and another person involved, or potentially these could be two individuals if you have that kind of dynamic where there are more than two people involved in this. And the second person offers kind of security in a different way. This to me feels like that they bring something new, kind of a prospect of, I want to say, it does feel financially stable actually, but it also feels like a promise of growth, of growing something. He's shut my blinds. So that is kind of like, I feel like one person has a lot emotionally to offer, whereas the other one offers a lot more, if not material, just more of the serious aspects of a relationship, that is not the loving. So you kind of like have this balance here of someone who can offer loving support and someone else who can do that in a more providing solid way. But equally I feel like that this is a balance, that they are both balanced together. I'll show you the imagery where they both have their arms out, and I feel like this is it. They equally have just as much to offer as each other. Neither of them is better or lesser than the other, and I feel like that's the dynamic that has been seeking here on both parties, which is quite interesting. I do feel like one is much more kind of glamorous, so this is probably why it's giving me a Taurus vibe. I feel like Taurus, we can have that extra vibe within a relationship, whereas I feel like the other person is much more like natural, kind of subtle, in a way that is different from the Taurus vibe. So that is probably why I did get that feeling of Taurus being the Six of Pentacles and the other person being the Four of Pentacles. And I feel like the Four of Pentacles has a lot to learn from the Six of Pentacles too, which is the Taurus. So it's interesting. Page of Wands and that Page of Pentacle reverse energy. So here I got this sense of kind of having drive and wanting to move forward, but also kind of feeling nervous within that. I want to say, and what is influencing this is the Tower energy, and I get the sense that like it means breaking things down in order to rebuild. It means starting again, and it means kind of, I feel like I do get the sense of letting something go, or facing something that perhaps is kind of chaotic, if faced. And this is influencing us, making us nervous by whatever it is that we're moving towards. Because I feel like it gives that aspect of unsurety. This Tower energy is giving me a sense of kind of breaking, something needs to happen to break down these walls, to start again, a new beginning vibes. And I feel like we see this, we're kind of foretelling that this needs to happen, that something needs to be kind of refurbished. So it needs to be broken down, either let go of, or something there has to happen in order to rebuild and create a stronger future, or something like that is the vibe. I mean, that doesn't fully in alignment with what I was trying to say. I feel like it's more like something needs to break down and be let go of in order for you to kind of start afresh, is what I want to say. It's probably more so accurate. From that Page of Pentacles to the Seven of Cups, we have Two of Pentacles influencing this. And the Two of Pentacles, it is like the Two of Pentacles can indicate hard work, as in putting in the work, and I feel like this is it. It's like you have put in the hard work. That Seven of Cups was giving me wanting kind of a better, sweeter version of something you've maybe built, and this is you putting the hard work to make that happen. I think you realize that if you put in the hard work, you're going to get what you achieve, and you want that balance here, and that harmony. And I do get the sense of this being like, this is going above and beyond probably your natural flow of things, because you are shifting and changing how you do things. That's how I'm getting the influence here. And I do, with all of these cards, they're giving me a lot of intuition. So I feel like trusting your intuition is really major for us for April, Taurus, and trusting the flow of things. I do think that this is just a step in the journey. But it feels like a good step, a good direction. So thank you so much, Taurus. Please let me know what you think of the part 1 and part 2, and whether or not it should be a keeper or not. And I'll see you next month. Thank you, guys.